What's up everybody, it's me, the Nerdy Hero. Today I'm going to be doing a spoiler-free review for X-Men Apocalypse. So right off the bat, I like this movie a lot. Is it the best X-Men movie ever? No. It has problems and it has good things and bad things like any other movie does. So where do I want to start here? I want to talk about Magneto and Charles. Their chemistry is still there. Michael Fassbender and James McAvoy really love these characters, and it shows in their performance of how they portray them. McAvoy actually does a lot of humor as his portrayal of Charles Xavier. It actually comes through, and it's pretty funny with most of it, with his chemistry with the character Moira McTaggart. The thing about her character in this movie, like, she's there for some reason, but not really necessary. You know, she's there for Charles, and they can kind of like have this little chemistry back and forth, but her character needed to be there for. It's not a bad thing or a good thing. It's like, you didn't need her. Magneto has some of the most powerful scenes in this movie, and Fassbender's performance of Magneto has actually been like one of my favorite characters in this whole new version of X-Men. And you know, it's X-Men as a whole. Michael Fassbender as Magneto is always one of the things I'm always more interested in because of what he brings to the character. Some of the new X-Men I want to talk about is Ty Sheridan as Cyclops, Cody Schmidt-McPhee as Nightcrawler, and Sophie Turner as Jean Grey. See, when you first see Sophie Turner, it's like, for me, I was kind of like turned off by it, and then you slowly like her more, and I ended up liking her a lot by the end of the movie. Ty Sheridan, solid all the way through. I liked him as Cyclops right from the beginning. You really don't get the sense of him becoming a leader of the X-Men in this film, but you see him like accepting being part of a team a little bit more by the end. Cody Schmidt-McPhee as Nightcrawler, he was not the Nightcrawler I was expecting, very shy and doesn't want to do anything with his powers, kind of Nightcrawler we saw in the first version of the X-Men. This one, he's much more of like a comedic relief in the film. You know, he's another character that was introduced was Jubilee in this film, but she's really not in the film that much. And there was, I remember when they were filming the scene at the mall. I remember set photos coming out, and that whole mall sequence, and it even shows in one of the TV spots, that whole mall sequence is actually cut out of the film.
Something's wrong. Brain freeze. What? I froze my brain.
Which really stinks, because I really wanted to see what they were like in the mall. So they took all that out, so we don't really get to see that much of Jubilee in this film. Okay, another character that everybody loves is the Quicksilver in this movie. And they gave him a much bigger role than he had in the X-Men Days of Future Past. Here, he's actually much more of a central character in the whole thing, and you notice that he has another one of those amazing slow motion scenes in this film too. And they really upped it with this one. This one's really good. It kind of comes out of nowhere. That's what kind of makes it special. It comes out of nowhere. You don't see it coming next, you know, which in this moment, and it's just, he's doing everything, and the music they chose for it, everything was just perfect for that. And it might be one of my favorite scenes in the movie, if not my favorite. It kind of goes back and forth, because like I said, I like with Magneto scenes and also like Nightcrawler stuff, so it kind of like the three of them kind of mold right there. Another thing that they mentioned in the film was going to be, in the trailer it shows that Quicksilver reveals that he found out that Magneto is his father.
Magneto? He's my father.
What?
Him and my mom, they did.
No, I know.
And they make that like a small subplot in the film if he's going to reveal that to Magneto or not. And that ends up going, like, that kind of, how do I say it? That kind of fell flat by the end of the film as to what that could have been heading towards. So that's all I can really say about that. Another thing I'm going to bring out is Mystique, played by Jennifer Lawrence. A lot of people have problems with Mystique in these new rebooted past versions, alternate timeline, whatever, of her performance being much more of a hero in this version of the X-Men. And someone said that Mystique in the past was an X-Men, so since these movies take place in the past, it should work that she's an X-Men. And I mean, you can say that, sure, but Mystique is always supposed to be an antagonist, really, and they made her out to be like this, I don't want to say the word like a messiah character, but after the events of Days of Future Past, it's been like 10 years later, she was the hero, quote unquote, that, you know, saved the president or whatever. And she became like this character that all mutants look up to, and then she went into hiding and did all this secret, they call it like a mercenary kind of thing. And they make her very central again in this film, and the people don't like that because Mystique should not be a central character in X-Men, really, but because Jennifer Lawrence is such a well-known actress and an Oscar-winning actress, and she is a very talented actress, you find out that, you realize that's why they make her so important in these films when her character itself is really not that important. And another problem that people have with Mystique in this film specifically is that they feel like she did not perform as well as she did in some other films or in even the previous Days of Future Past. I liked her most in Days of Future Past. You could see her much more really acrobatic and doing a lot of the stunts and fighting. Here she didn't do that much, and even if she didn't need to do that stuff because maybe the storyline didn't require her to, some of her dialogue kind of fell flat. She looked like she didn't really care. I ended up liking her performance. I'm not gonna say that she mailed it in or anything like that, but I think Days of Future Past was the best she's done, and maybe she really doesn't care that much about the character that much anymore. You know, it's hard to say. I mean, a character like Mystique could be recasted. No one would ever even notice. Well, they would notice, but it could be into the plot very easily. You know, like, oh, she just changed the way she looks. She's Mystique. She can do that. The last thing I'm going to talk about is Apocalypse and his plan, the way he looked, and the final battle of it all. Apocalypse got a lot of hate when the first image of him came out because he looked purple. He looked like Ivan Ooze from Power Rangers. But they recently came out with a statement that they said that the reason that image came out and it looked purple was because that was without any effects in it, and they had a purple light because in the actual final shot there's a purple portal behind him. So when you see the movie, he's actually blue in that scene, and there is a purple portal behind him. So and that's why you see the image came out all weird. So he was always meant to be the way he is in the film. He's always blue, and they do a lot of augmented voice acting, a voiceover with his character, and it kind of makes him more terrifying. I don't want to say that. It makes him scarier, not so much more grander. And you see some of his powers and how he gets his powers explained, and how he survived all the time. The whole time is shown, especially in the opening sequence of the film. You see how he is the way he is and how he does everything. His plan comes and goes really, like it's hard to get against spoilers. It didn't really make much sense. I was watching the film and I kind of got what he was trying to do at the end. I know he's trying to distort the world and, you know, create apocalypse and all that. And I get that and I see that going on, but I am having trouble understanding how it all works. I don't want to get into spoilers territory, you know, but I barely understood how it was working. And in the final battle itself, it wasn't bad and it wasn't good. It was just kind of going on, and it was some interesting scenes like Archangel versus Nightcrawler. You know, that kind of fight was going on. It was kind of fun to watch. Again, Ty Sheridan and Alexandra Shipp, that fight going on. A lot of interesting elements going on, and how they have to defeat this god-like character in the end, and how they have to do that. And it kind of goes into all these different aspects and different levels of fighting that goes on. And in the end, it was a cool fight, and I ended up liking it. But I mean, it was also kind of just starts happening in front of you. You're like, oh, I guess we're here now. So characters like Psylocke, she comes in, she doesn't really do much, and she just kind of falls flat at the end. She barely says any lines, and yeah, she looked great, but her suit, even though it's comic accurate, does not really fit in with the rest of the Apocalypse Horsemen. So even though it's like, So that's my review, guys, of X-Men Apocalypse. Let me know in your comments what you guys saw of the movie. Remember, you can like, comment, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and remember, keep it nerdy.
Sweet dreams are made of these. Who am I to disagree? I travel the world and the seven seas. Everybody is looking for something. Sweet dreams are made of these.
I'm here to do a spoiler-free review for X-Men Days of Future Past. Oh, wrong movie.